If you're a woman over 40 struggling with emotional eating, especially at night, this is not a willpower problem. And it's not because you just love food. Most of the women I work with are capable, disciplined, and high functioning. They manage careers, they care for families, and they show up for everyone else. And somewhere between 8 and 10 p.m., they're standing in the kitchen eating when they're not physically hungry. If that's you, stay with me. Because emotional eating after 40 has far more to do with overload and a nervous system that hasn't calmed down than a lack of discipline. And if you try to fix the wrong route, you'll keep starting over. Here's what's happening. All day long, your nervous system is engaged. You're making decisions, you're solving problems, holding conversations, managing tension, pushing through. That constant output requires a lot of energy. By evening, you're not weak, you're depleted. And when the nervous system has been running on high for hours, it looks for something that helps it downshift quickly. Food is fast and predictable, and it temporarily will lower your stress hormones. It will feel like relief. So when women say, I just lose control at night, what they're often describing is a body that never got the signal that it was safe to relax. That's not a discipline issue, that's overload. I worked with a woman recently. She was in her mid-40s, successful, organized, and extremely responsible. She told me this: I eat perfectly all day. I track, I plan, I'm disciplined, but at night, I undo everything. When we looked closer, here's what we found. She was skipping breakfast, running on coffee, taking care of everyone else, carrying tension from work, and going straight from dinner cleanup into evening emails. She never once slowed down. By 9 p.m., her body wasn't rebelling, it was exhausted. Once we stabilized her protein earlier in the day, built in small downshifts, and protected her evenings, the nighttime eating didn't require willpower. It got less, not because she tried harder, but because her nervous system finally had margin. After 40, stress tolerance narrows. Sleep becomes lighter, hormones fluctuate, and recovery slows down. Blood sugar swings feel even stronger. Patterns that were manageable in your 30s will feel overwhelming in your 40s and 50s and up. And here's what most women do. They tighten control. More food rules, more restriction, more promises to do better tomorrow. But restriction increases stress, and stress increases cravings. Cravings increase shame, and shame keeps you stuck in a hidden cycle. You can't calm a stressed body with stricter rules. You calm it with stability. Most women don't need stricter nutrition. They need a life that isn't constantly running over capacity. Emotional eating usually points to one or more of these: undernourishment earlier in the day, emotional load that hasn't been processed, or a nervous system that hasn't downshifted. Food becomes the easiest way to say, I'm done, I need comfort, I need something steady. Comfort isn't the enemy. But when food becomes the only reliable source of it, the cycle tightens. After 40, fat loss becomes difficult when the body feels chronically overstimulated. The body releases weight more easily when it feels safe, not punished, not micromanaged, not bracing. Emotional eating decreases when regulation increases. What does that mean? Protein anchors during the day, consistent meals, blood sugar stability, sleep protection, and intentional evening wind down. Small rhythms that tell your body you're safe, you can relax. That might look like a real breakfast, stepping outside for a few minutes, closing the kitchen at a consistent time, breathing deeply, prayer and silence, not extremes, steady, small steps. After 40, fat loss doesn't respond to intensity. It responds to stability. When your life feels anchored, food loses urgency. If emotional eating has made you feel inconsistent, you're not broken. You may simply be overloaded. And overload doesn't get solved with yet another extreme quick fix plan. It gets solved with structure. Inside Stay Fit Coaching, we don't adjust food only. We look at where your stress load exceeds your capacity, where your daily structure is breaking down, and how to build rhythms that calm the nervous system instead of inflaming it. That's when food stops carrying the weight of your day. If you're tired of cycling and you're ready for support that stabilizes your life instead of restarting it, there's a link for a clarity call in the description below. We'll look at your specific patterns and decide whether coaching is the right next step. No pressure, just clarity. And if you haven't watched the first 2 videos in this series yet, start there. Video 1 explains why eat less and exercise more stops working after 40. Video 2 breaks down why macros can help, but eventually become another form of pressure. This emotional eating conversation builds directly on both of those. If you don't address pressure and overload first, nighttime eating won't make sense. You'll see both linked on the end screen. And next week, I'm going to show you what this looks like practically. Because once emotional eating decreases, the next question becomes, how do I actually eat in a way that supports fat loss without thinking about food all day? We're talking real-life meal structure, no spreadsheets, no obsession, no perfection, just systems that support a busy midlife. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do that now. That video builds directly on this one. And before you go, I want to hear from you. When does emotional eating show up most for you? Stress? Exhaustion? Late night quiet? Tell me in the comments, and so glad you joined me here today.